Yeah, the girls, they went to the World Cup. They qualified for the last Women's World Cup. And we fail at that year on end. So how can we really say the boys are better?
Welcome sports fans, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host Drummer.
I'm Rush.
And this is This or That Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting and riveting sports topics, discussions and debates on the whole internet.
Yes people, before we get into the video, make sure to like this video, drop a comment and also subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. What heap of shot content over here. Yes people, as you guys may know, we've come a far way, under 6 months and we are closing in on 1,000 subscribers. So we want to do something special for our viewers. So we'll be having our first giveaway. So This or That Sports TV hosts their first giveaway. We will be giving away, you want to tell them on the next video or tell them no?
Save it for the next video.
Alright people, check out the next check next week. In one of those videos we are going to be telling you guys exactly the prize that you'll be winning and how you can win the prize. So stay tuned. That was special. But today we're going to talk about our reggae girls. We love our reggae girls. Don't get anything misconstrued here. But we're going to, dissect a conversation that's been going on. Are the reggae girls doing better than the reggae boys? That's what we're going to be talking about. So, kick it off.
Alright, so that I think in and of itself is a very nuanced situation.
Give them some background, man. Give them some background.
That's what I say. In order to answer that question, you get me? I say it has to be dissected very meticulously because there's a lot of factors that will influence what I determine as being the better team or the better outfit, right? First and foremost, it cannot just be based on recent results or comparison to recent results because in everything you have to have a scale, you have to have a level of measurement or a balance in which you use to measure certain things, right? And what we are used to judge the quality, how much better is one team than the other? Like what's the scale?
The scale is, isolated. So don't compare the men to the women in terms of if the men could play in the women's competition and do better or if the women could play in the men's competition and do better. But rather, how are the women doing in their competition and how well are the men doing in their competition? So that's what we're going to match up. So are the men doing better than the women in their competition than the women are doing in there? Alright, so are they better? Yeah. And some context again. So, it's official. The Reggae Boys will not be taking part in the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. And the female World Cup qualifiers just kicked off and we won our first 2 games in the first round. So we beat Grenada, we beat Bermuda. And some victory. But that's what's going on. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, alright. The first thing is context, right? So if we're going to compare World Cup qualification, so Jamaica female football are currently in the World Cup qualifying campaign, and we are currently the male team is currently at the
what if? Go on, boy.
The male team is currently at the tail end of their campaign, right? So the female team, which is also we, are in the beginning of the campaign, and the male team is at the end of their campaign. Obviously an unsuccessful campaign by the men. However, the World Cup qualifying campaign would have started for 2022 for the men at a later stage than the women would have started their campaign. This is because the FIFA ranking. So in the women's competition, both In the women's competition, both USA and Canada would have gotten a bye to the final round or to what is called the Women's Championship in the summertime because of their performances in the previous World Cup and the Olympics respectively, right? Because of this, they were not participating in these first round of competition. The men's team had a similar fate when it came to their campaign.
When they likened it to the US and the Mexico in the women's competition.
4 teams, CONCACAF stopped 4 teams or 5 teams, I cannot remember right now, had automatic qualification because of their, I think it was 5 teams, right? Had automatic qualification because of their standing in CONCACAF. And at the time, when that was solidified, Jamaica were ranked 4th. So Jamaica did not play in the initial stage of the World Cup qualifying campaign.
And what that means is the round that the women are playing right now, Jamaica was too good for that round.
Or the round that is comparable, because obviously
the competition is not the same.
Yeah.
But where the female, the Reggae girls are in the first round of World Cup qualifiers, the Reggae boys bypassed that round. We were too good for that round.
Yeah, so we were ranked high enough in CONCACAF where we didn't have to compete in that. To give context to this, Canada, who were ranked way below us at the beginning of this campaign, were forced to compete in that competition. And some of Canada's results included an 11-0 thrashing of the Cayman Islands, right? They easily whacked other teams like Aruba and such in their group competition, as how we will see the Jamaican team destroying girls, right? And then Canada played a playoff competition, a playoff round against Haiti over 2 legs and managed to beat Haiti, and that's how Canada secured their place in the final round. As I said, we did not have to play in that round because we are ranked higher than Canada. So had Jamaica played in the first round and were matched up against teams the likes of Grenada, Bermuda, Bahamas, Aruba, Belize, Turks and Caicos, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so on and so forth, this Reggae Boy team would have mollywopped those teams. So the results would have been 6s and 7s all around.
For sure.
Similar to what we saw Haiti do when they played. I'm talking about the men right now. Similar to what we saw Haiti do when they played. Alright, so for example, Haiti in their first round, we see here where they walked over certain teams. For example, the Turks and Caicos, giving them 10-0. Right? And they did not qualify to the round that we were in. So had Jamaica played in that round, Jamaica would have been given the 6s and the 7s.
Yeah.
So we can't really compare what the girls are doing now, scoring 10 goals in 2 games, only conceding 1, to the Jamaican team because they're playing at different stages, right? What do you think?
I agree with you on that, but at the same time, I think the girls are better than the boys. When you match them up to what they are doing in their competition. The Reggae boys missed the last 5 World Cups. The Reggae girls went to the last World Cup. So if we're going to say how well are the women doing in the women part of football, they're doing better than the men are doing in men's football. So everything in terms of context, and right now we can't have recency bias and say the women are just better. I'm not just going off of these 2 games. I'm just talking overall. I just think the Reggae girls in their competitions are in even the rankings right now. I think the Reggae boys are going to slip to probably 5th or maybe 6th in CONCACAF as we're sitting in our qualifying campaign, and the girls are ranked 4th. So if we're going to match them up,
the girls are ranked 5th in CONCACAF. The
girls are ranked 5th right now.
Yeah.
They slipped. So the girls are ranked 5th, and they went. As I say, may I go off for the fact that we missed. The Reggae boys missed the last 5 World Cup.
After qualifying, we're going to be ranked about 7th or 8th in CONCACAF.
Right. So they are going to slip dramatically. But yeah, the girls, they went to the World Cup. They qualified for the last Women's World Cup, and we fail at that year on end. So how can we really say the boys are better? I agree. If the Reggae boys played the first round of the World Cup qualifiers, thrashings, 13-0, 50, I'm sure we would backside some teams. But at the same time, we have to put everything into context. On a general scale, our Reggae girls team in their competition is better than our Reggae boys team in their competition. What do you think about that?
Well, I think I don't want to make that assertion just yet. I'll have to see how the girls perform in the summer as compared to how the boys perform in the summer. Keep in mind, the boys and the girls have a very similar competition over the summer. The Nations League is going to be very similar to the final round of World Cup qualifying that ladies. So the females women's championship in Mexico, the Nations League obviously is not a one location tournament, but the format is going to be very similar with 2 zones each, round robin competition, then winners of the zone advance in the second round. That's going to be a similar competition with very similar teams. So at that point I'll be able to make my judgment as to which team I think is better. But right now I'm going to withhold my determination because I just don't think I have enough information to decide.
Man, I call it. I can see it. The girls are just doing better. In the last 5 years or so, the boys disappoint us here on end, as I said. But the women, they went to the last World Cup, they put in a good shift. And
yeah, but we're talking about right now, and though the girls performed well, I'm not necessarily impressed with what I'm seeing.
That's 2 games.
Not even though they performed well, though the results were well. I'm not.
That's 2 games in the first round of qualifiers. Those games would not have mattered anyway. Even for the men. Even if the men went in and thrashed Curacao, it wouldn't matter. You understand? So these 2 games that we played against Bermuda and Grenada, It's of no consequence. But at the same time, take away those 2 games. Are the Reggae girls better than the Reggae boys in their respective competitions or against their peers?
As I said, we'll see how it goes in the summer.
But me I call it. I stay up on the fence. Me I call it. But yes, people, join the discussion.
It's hard for me to sell out my Reggae boys.
It's not sell out. So the Reggae girls are not what I want to. We never sell them out, bro. We love the girls. You understand? But at the same time, me I be unbiased. The Reggae boys is my favorite team in terms of international football and between the Reggae girls, Reggae boys, junior team, senior teams.
Yeah.
Reggae boys is my team. But at the same time, bro, I have to think about it and be, level-headed. Females are doing, they went to the last World Cup. We are failing to go to the World Cups. So we're not even getting close to going to the World Cup. Even though the women just made it by the skin of their teeth. Yeah. But at the same time, they made it. And they competed at the World Cup. And they have a very good chance. In fact, if we're supposed to be going on the rankings, the women should make it to the next World Cup. So, yeah, that's it. Join the discussion, people. Are the Reggae girls better than the Reggae boys? Let us know.
It's not as hard and fast as you think, people.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of consideration and thinking. It's not just, them score 10 goals in 2 matches, they're better than the
I can't use the last 2 games. Not at all.
But, it's a good thing to think about, guys. So make you know what we think. You see me?
Yeah.
And before we go, I just want to thank you for the consistent support. We see the thing grow and it'll get bigger and bigger. So please continue to like, continue to subscribe, and most of all, share the video. If each one of you guys can get us 5 subscribers, do you know how many subscribers that would get us, guys?
Yeah.
So just don't even hesitate. Start share right now. Right now. Go and go share the video. Go and go share the video.
So this is That Sports TV.
Oh.